I think there was a question on biomed and diet as well. Again, it does not work for everybody. From the evidence that we have from research, what they found with the gluten-free, casein-free diet is there is inconclusive evidence. I.e., we can't say it doesn't work, but we can't say it works. So inconclusive. My take on this to parents is, one, you've got to look at your own home circumstance and whether you can change diet. Because a diet change for a child is a diet change for the family. Okay, you can't just expect that your child is going to do, unless your child is oblivious to whatever everyone else is eating, and he's not bothered by what everyone else is eating. But there will come a time when he will be, and his awareness increases. So if you're going to do that, I suggest you do the diet with him if everybody else can't. But you need to make sure you have a well-balanced diet. Okay? And the important thing is, if you're going to change diet, especially for kids with autism when they have a lot of sensory issues, is that you introduce new food before you remove the old food. Okay, because by doing a cold turkey where you just suddenly change diet, some children react behaviorally, either because they're hungry, their blood sugar is low, or because they're angry, they don't like what they're eating. So it has to be a gradual process. So even when you're changing milk, for example, you do like a quarter of the new milk with 3/4 of the old milk, and you gradually change the proportions. But you've got to make sure that you are giving your child a well-balanced diet. And don't listen to what my friend is doing, do your own research. And if you're really unsure, go and see a dietitian once to say, I want to do this diet. How do I get ideas of it? And I tell you, you've got to be a good group. Yeah. A lot of the parents who succeed in the diet, maintaining the diet, they do it themselves. Because, you try and taste the gluten-free bread that's out there. It's hard and it's really sweet. But I've tasted some really nice gluten-free bread that parents make, okay? And they chop and change things. It's never like the normal bread or normal cakes, but it is palatable if you do it yourself. So the jury is out on that.
Sorry, because I get a lot of questions all the time from parents who just discovered their child is autistic, right? So the first thing I always want to do is, what should you do first? Because they are panicking already, so they have a lot of friends and relatives telling them, you should do this, you should do that, you should go see this Sensei, you should go see that Bomo, or else you have these supplements they want to introduce, or biomedical devices, neurofeedback and stuff like that. I mean, what's your take on all that? I mean, they are panicking already. I mean, they just want to know what to do. They want to do everything, but they can't do everything, of course. So they need to pick and choose. I mean,
And I would say start off with something simple like going to see a speech therapist, because the speech therapists are all very well versed on interventions in autism, and they will probably say to you, okay, go start OT, okay, and then come back and see you or something like that. I think talk to parents who have kids, who have themselves. Obviously, parents will always try and find the best choice one, but parents are, you want to do something quick, isn't it? When you're panicking, you want immediate changes. And I see a lot of parents, the first thing they do is go on the diet. Okay? I don't stop them. You know why? Because I find when they're starting to do the diet, they're actually starting to be aware about what their children eat. I find that. Previously, the kid is on milk 5 times a day and not eating vegetables, not eating meat, eating plain rice. As soon as they go to the diet, they really work hard and getting the kids to eat. So I don't stop parents. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I changed my diet from being a meat eater to a vegetarian. So I know what it's like. So you start really looking at what you eat to make sure you get enough protein, etc. But it is not a proven therapy. And I think parents need to know about it. And I think for you guys who've already had kids, I think you know that. You change diets, you see maybe their sleep improves. maybe they are less hyper, or things like that. But this is not the thing that has really made the difference in your child's life. And you can, I know the proponents of biomed make it sound like this is the cure therapy. Okay? But I say this, it's really such a wonderful therapy. Why are we having waiting lists of people still, needing to be diagnosed? You just go to the biomed therapy and Bridges won't have a waiting list. I won't have a waiting list. Because the kids will be fine. Just go to the diet and it's all sorted, isn't it? But it's not, and you know that for a fact. So yeah, you can try the change in diet, but you need to be doing intervention. Unfortunately, in Malaysia, it isn't probably as accessible as a first-line intervention, but speech therapists are. No matter in which state you are, there will be a speech therapist somewhere now. How quickly you get to see the person is implemented.
To go on further on that, right? There's actually a lot of new therapies right now that's going on. I have just been asked about something new called Neurofeedback, which is basically a reverse EEG to your brain. So instead of reading the EEG, they push it back to you, alpha waves and stuff like that. So again, they are asking, is it any validity? Because it's not cheap. It's never cheap. It's never cheap. And then stuff like that, like neurofeedback. There's also the mercury chelation therapy. What other things? There are a lot actually. There's even one that they inject. They actually inject. I think chlorine dioxide up the anus or drip into. Yeah, I know. There's this kind of new therapy. So all the parents want to know because they'll be hearing all these things from the internet, getting from the internet, right? So there's no clarity because on the internet everything is assumed to be on the same level, whether it comes from a specialist or come from just a parent. So of course they want to know whether they should they start on that. So and stuff like that.
My first thing is to say no. Okay, you want to dabble in it once your kids has made progress with the other interventions. That's fine. And parents are always looking at me and asking me this question. Neurofeedback came about because they detected that brain waves of people with different developmental disorders are different. And we know that. That's not surprising to us because we know there's a neurological basis to this condition. It's not because of poor parenting that this child has autism or ADHD or whatever. Their brains are wired differently. How they respond to environment is also different. But the studies that were done on neurofeedback initially were on young adults and adults with ADHD. And they showed some improvement, not statistically significant, improvement in their attention. Suddenly, kids are being exposed to neurofeedback, kids as young as 3 years old. So, we don't know that it's a proven therapy. I haven't seen remarkable changes in any of the kids who go for it. And yeah, it's the same with biomed. You may read stories about the miracle cure, but who knows, these kids might have improved even without biomed. Did you do biomed, David?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, because actually there's a not say epidemic. I would say that I think in Australia or where else they coming out with a new law against dripping chlorine dioxide, especially chlorine dioxide, right? They have been injecting up the anus and then asking them to drink the chlorine dioxide and stuff like that because it kills some kind of parasite or something like that, they believe. So these are all the therapies that a lot of parents are hearing about and they are desperate to try. And to them, chlorine dioxide is cheap. I guess, I think.
But I don't know, why subject your child to harm?
No, because there's a lot of testimony that my child is cured of autism, you see. So why should I go to therapy where it's so hard? I have to sit down and learn with the child. I have to come back and repeat it every single day. It's hours and hours, I spend hours and hours with my child. So I know how much effort it takes. So a lot of new parents, they come in, they see the amount of effort they need to put into the child versus, just a couple of drops, a day, and I just give it enema once or twice a day, and stuff like that, it is a simpler solution, I guess, for a lot of them until I guess it's too late, I'm just wondering because a lot of parents are asking me, right? So I need to.
My take is always, if these things are really a cure, we wouldn't be having still so many kids needing intervention. There wouldn't be waiting lists for intervention. And also in America and Australia.
Yeah.